Good afternoon to all. Welcome to day 4 afternoon session. Current session NAC accreditation process is going to be handled by Dr. Ganesh Hegde. Dr. Ganesh Anant Hegde, advisor NAC Bangalore, is an expert academician in the assessment and accreditation arena in the country today. He has been at the helm of affairs at the country's top assessment body, the National Assessment and Accreditation Council, for more than 2 decades in several capacities. He is keenly involved in the framing of assessment framework of NAC for the last 2 decades and has to his credit the rich expertise and experience of assessing and accrediting more than 1,400 institutions of higher learning across the country. In addition to this, he has involved himself in designing and conceptualizing assessment manuals in specialized areas like health science, teacher education, Sanskrit universities, autonomous colleges, IQAC guidelines, publications, etc. He holds a doctorate degree in mass communication and journalism from University of Mysore. True to his spirit, Dr. Hegde has organized several workshops for principals and faculty members for undergoing the process of accreditation. He has conducted several assessors training programs at NAC for vice chancellors, professors, and principals all over the country for training prospective NAC peer team experts. In addition, he has coordinated the review of 66 academic staff colleges of UGC and submitted a report. He has been instrumental bringing out the internal quality assurance guidelines and other publications. Dr. Hegde has equally contributed his professional expertise in the international arena as well. He has participated and contributed to national and international seminars on higher education, assessment and accreditation, internal quality assurance system, quality in teacher education, best practices and APQN online discussion, and so on. He has also participated and conducted training program for assessors abroad. He has been board of directors for International Network of Quality Assurance Agencies in Higher Education from 2013 to 2015, where this association is a worldwide association of over 200 organizations of quality assurance agencies. Before joining NAC, he served as a publication executive in the Department of Science and Technology, Vignan Prasad, Government of India, New Delhi. Dr. Ganesh Hegde has recently authored 2 books. One is on Information Communication Technology and Higher Education, and the second one is IQAC 7 Action Points. He has also co-authored 2 books, one on IQAC and other is State-Wise Analysis of Punjab. With this brief introduction, I welcome Dr. Ganesh Hegde to the session. Welcome to the session, sir. I request Dr. Hegde to take over the session. Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Namaste. Thank you, madam, for introducing me to the audience. And I request the organizers to share my screen so that I will share the screen. Sir, kindly make me to the participant and I will share the screen.
Sir, you can share screen.
Hope it is visible now.
Yes, sir.
Is it visible?
It is an yes, fine, sir.
Yes. Thank you for introduction. And I feel that the teachers who are viewing this one will be either it's called a guided or little bit motivated towards the accreditation. I always feel that the Sanskrit shloka states that Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurumiritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. My respect to all the teachers who are viewing this webinar for the benefit of themselves and also for the benefit of the institutions where they are working. In an institution, when you are working, you have to work in different capacities and capabilities, and you have to show the little innovations within the work what you are doing. I always feel that the Ramaiah Institute of Technology has done a good job previously also. In future also it will do the wonders. Dr. Madhu and his team and also the principal have taken an initiative to organize this webinar for the benefit of not only from their institution, for the benefit of others also. How exactly the NAC does the assessment and how exactly the NBA does the assessment. I just would like to share with you a small thing that if we have 5 fingers here, the NAC looks as a hand, means that there are 5 to 6 department or 8 department or 10 department. NAC looks into all the 10 departments in at a one stretch. It is called the institutional assessment. But whereas the NBA does the program accreditation, whether your thumb is good, whether your forefinger is good, whether your last finger is good, like mechanical department is good or electronics is good, and how exactly each department can apply for their program. So there is a variation between the two agencies, what they are doing. It is according to the guideline which is the government of India has made, that the NBA will do the program accreditation, that too in the higher technical education. But NAC does the institutional accreditation for all type of the institutions, engineering colleges, general colleges, universities, and various types of the institutions like teacher education, medical, and all type of the institutions which NAC has done the accreditation. Accreditation plays a vital role in the academia. As the picture states here, that is a running. When you go for the running or the 400 to 400 meter relay of 1,600 meters, and you need the 4 people to run on that the thing. IQAC coordinator will plays a vital role in making the institutional accreditation. Further, I will share with you some of the things and how exactly NAC does. As your institution is having the vision, NAC is also having a vision. What is the vision? The vision is to make the quality as the defining element of higher education in India through a combination of self and external quality evaluation. That means the self-study report which you submit to the NAC will be assessed by the external quality agency. External quality assurance agency may be NBA or NAC. And the promotion and sustenance initiatives. There are various promotion and sustenance initiatives which NAC has taken up, that comes as a byproduct of the vision. And further, to make sure that promotion and sustenance initiative, NAC is having the mission statement. The periodic assessment, every 5 years the institution has to undergo the accreditation with a specific thing. It also stimulates the academic environment. If you look into a particular institution, when it is going for accreditation, then people will say that, no, we have a lot of work to do because the NAC is coming for the assessment. We have to be record ready for the assessment. And it is nothing but, if you are writing a peer-reviewed journal, you have to understand the whole conceptualization of the how the peer review happens. In the similar way, this is also the database as well as the peer review assessment which NAC is making. Encourage the self-evaluation, self-study report and the self-evaluation, continuous internal assessment, choice-based credit system. There are so many things which NAC talks about in the criterion wise when it comes to the self-evaluation. Accountability and autonomy. And there are many autonomous colleges, even including in engineering colleges, have went for the autonomy because the World Bank project looks for autonomous status of a particular institution. NAC is also propagating the autonomy in the higher education. Undertaking the quality related research studies. NAC has taken several research studies, including the government college, private college study, and state-wise analysis report, and several case study wise the NAC has done the work. Collaborate with the other stakeholders. It may be the higher education, or it may be policy planning, or it may be the promotion and sustenance initiative. NAC has done the several things. If you look into the various things which NAC has done, you can look into the NAC website, then you will be able to see that one. I just would like to take 1 minute from you to talk about the core values. The core values which NAC has propagated through the higher education institution, including the NAC, is that one, contributing to the national development. It may be innovations ecosystem, or it may be the student support and progression, or it may be the alumni engagement, or it may be the placement, or it may be the sports and cultural activities of this institution. National development comes as a byproduct of that type of the activities which the institutions are taking. Fostering the global competencies among the student. Today, from the NASA to the different software companies, Indian people are very, very matured enough to take the highest position in their own field. So global competencies like the skill development, communication skill, these are the two things which comes as the byproduct of the competencies. Inculcating the value system among the students. That means discipline, timeline, and the many things can come. Suppose righteous conduct and truthfulness. These are some of the things a value system. Our research paper need to be reviewed properly. That means you have to have a good system in place in the research ethics also. So use of technology is one of the things which NAC is propagating. Today with the COVID-19 situation, using the technology, people can reach one to the other, so that distance places is also not a problem, but we can reach out. If we are doing 1 to 4, I think the quest for excellence comes. The quest for excellence should be urged within the institution, within the people. Those things need to be looked into. Now, how to apply to the NAC? We request you to go to the nac.gov.in, and there you will come to know that how exactly NAC is doing. Kindly download the manual, guideline, standard operating procedures, and also the student satisfaction survey from the NAC website. Now I'll just share with you how exactly you can go with the IIQA procedure. If you look into the NAC website, there is an apply online will be there. In this page, you will be getting all type of the information from the first cycle to the fourth cycle which the institutions have underwent. So what are the documents is needed for undergoing the procedural things? You can look into this website, and it will give you all the information which I have told. Another thing is that whether you are going for accreditation or not, it depends upon your management, your institutional ethics, and your institutional ethos, and whether you come for accreditation or not, it is a different thing. But without going for accreditation, you can ask the question to the NAC by registering yourself. We request the institution to register in the NAC portal. The portal is higher education institution. If you are first timer and if you are not accredited by the NAC, you kindly say that one you have been not no. And if you are already accredited with a cycle 1 or 2, whatever the information you are having, kindly say yes, then it will go to the lead. What is the document is required? MHRD AISH certificate and one email ID and mobile number is more important for the institution. What are the documents is required for the IIQA? One is the affiliating university letter, whether it may be technical college or whether it is general college, whatever it may be. If it is a technical in Karnataka, it is the VTU which is having the affiliation. That affiliation letter you have to give. And if you have the approval from the UGC or the MHRD or the state government, if you have been a university or any other program like UGC 12B, if you are having, you can give that one to the NAC as a certificate. Current academic year approval. If you are an engineering college, AICTE recognition letter you need to give with the latest one. AISH certificate need to be given along with the IIQA. Uploading the AQR, this is only for the second cycle and above. That means already if you have been accredited by the NAC, then only you have to submit the AQAR to the NAC. Undertaking the what you call compliance rules. rules and regulation need to be followed by the institution. There is an undertaking should be given. You have given an authenticated information. If you are wrong enough, then your accreditation will be invalid. Self-declaration by the institution also should be given, and the computer IP address also should be given, which computer you will be uploading the document. While undergoing the IIQA procedure, there is a basic eligibility criteria is there. What is the basic eligibility criteria? 5.5 years or 6 years of standing of the particular institution, and 2 batches should have come. 2 batches, NAAC is not suggesting that the core in the sense in engineering, if you are having an MBA, the 2 batches will come and the 3rd year also. But the 3rd year, if you are going for accreditation, you may not get the good score. To get the good score, at least minimum 5 years, 6 years standing of that particular institution should be there. Your core program like the BE Computer Science or MTech Electrical Engineering, those core programs should have the 2 batches. Then only you will have a good alumni thing. Now, affiliation from the, as I have already told you, the statutory regulatory authority approval should be given. NAAC will be looking into your data academic input while you submit to the NAAC. There is an application fee, as you are having a student prospectus fee. This is like that, and application fee 28,500 will be there. Suppose you are during the documentation verification procedure, if you could not submit the, let us say, the Pharmacy Council of India, you are having a pharmacy along with the general college, the engineering college, you could not submit the Pharmacy Council of India letter, let us say. Then the NAAC officer will ask you the query stating that you kindly give that one. Suppose if you could not give it, then your application will be rejected at that particular moment. But you can apply after 1 month. If you are getting that certificate, you can apply with the same fees. You need not to pay again the fees to the NAAC. So 3 attempts, maximum 3 attempts. That means first attempt and then next 2 more attempts will be given within a year. So basically within 15 days, NAAC will clear the IIQA from the institution. As I told you already, that if the institution register in the NAAC, you can ask the question to the NAAC. As we are having the webinar today, you may be having some question. So the questions can be asked to the NAAC directly on 24/7, and our director, Professor S.C. Sharma ji, has made in such a way that the IMS within 24 hours, whoever may be the NAAC officer who is handling the thing, will be replying to you, the institution, within 24 hours to 48 hours maximum. We will reply to the institution so that the NAAC will be corresponding with the institution immediately for the benefit of the institution. Now, once the IIQA is accepted by the NAAC, within 45 days, the institution has to submit the SSR. SSR means self-study report. स्वयं अध्ययन करके जो भूमिका आप निभाते हैं और जो सेल्फ स्टडी रिपोर्ट है, वो NAAC के लिए 45 डेज में अंदर आपको भेजना ही चाहिए. तो उसके लिए क्या करना है? What you have to do is that one, understanding the metrics, whether metrics is a quantitative metric or qualitative metrics. Today, after these few slides, I will be sharing the criteria wise, so that you will be able to get to know that how exactly minutely NAAC has made this methodology into the assessment procedural thing. Quantitative metrics are the metrics will be asked in the numbers, average percentage of the pass percentage of the student, average faculty member is having the PhD. So these are the quantitative nature are there. Qualitative nature are there, comes as an explanatory things. 500 words you have to give an explanation. Upload the relevant document in the proper metrics. We request you to look into that. If the metrics is 1.3.1, kindly upload in 1.3.1. Don't upload in 2.3.1. You will not get the mark. So our request is that kindly understand the IT enabled services of the NAAC. Selection of the non-applicable metrics. as two institutions cannot be compared, the DNA of the institution, two institutions which differs. In the similar way, the NAC is also looking such type of the differences in the institution, and maximum 30 mark you can opt out. That is called the optional matrix is there for the NAC. Go through the NAC manual and guideline. There are several guidelines are there. Kindly download all the manuals from the NAC website. There is a standard operating procedure. What NAC actually looking and how the institution has to be given will be understood by both the parties. DBB partner, NAC, as well as the institution need to look into the triangulation so that every understanding of a matrix it should be proper from the institution, DBB, and also to the NAC. And this clarification comes during the DBB clarification for quantitative metrics, not for the qualitative metrics. Lastly, it is a student satisfaction survey which will be conducted online for all the students in the 2.7.1 of the NAC. Now, if you look into the here, the registration to the calculation of the CGPA, as I told you already, in a graphical manner, I have put up here for your consumption. After the registration, within 15 days, the NAC will be approving the IIQA. I request the institution to look into the timeline. So Einstein has told that everybody has got a 24 hours. Nobody has got the 25th hour. So within 24 hours, institution need to make, and faculty has to work, and I also should work, you also should work within 24 hours. After the approval of the IIQA, within 45 days, the SSR to be submitted to the NAC. While applying to the NAC for this self-study report, you can opt out the matrix maximum 30 mark, and that I will be telling you at a later stage. That means the criteria 1, 2, and 7 you cannot opt out, and criteria 3, 4, 5, 6 you can opt out maximum 30 weightage from the matrix. That means maximum the 1000 will be there, and if you opt out the matrix 30, then 970 marks you have to apply to or reply to the NAC. The data validation and verification comes at a later stage after submission of the self-study report. After submission of the self-study report, within 21 days, the data validation and verification will be conducted by the third party. NAC has got the 5 to 6 companies to do this data validation and the verification. Pre-qualification. What is a pre-qualification? Pre-qualification is the one where the data template and the data of the institution submitted through the self-study report will be evaluated by the NAC, and then the 25% of the quantitative metric they have to pass. For example, in the affiliated college, there are UG program and PG program. What is the UG program? If they are having a BTech program, that is called the UG program. If the institution having one MTech program also will be considered as the PG college. For PG, there are 60 matrices are there for the quantitative nature. For the UG college, there are 58 matrices are there for the quantitative nature. So pre-qualification looks only the quantitative nature of the matrix. So out of that one, 25% they have to pass. Then only the institution will be going to the third stage called the on-site visit. In the on-site visit, the qualitative metrics will be evaluated by the peers, and the qualitative metric, quantitative metric, and student satisfaction survey combined together will be made as the CGPA. So that means the institutions will calculate it on the CGPA for the things. At the last slide, I will be sharing with you the grading pattern. Now, what actually the quantitative and the qualitative metrics? About 62% or 62 or 63% the institutions is having the quantitative metrics, and 38% will be having the qualitative metrics. Now the DVV is the data validation and verification procedure, and it will provide an insight to the institution how exactly the institution should do in the quantitative nature. Now in the 7 criteria, there are few key indicators newly has come into the picture. Now, innovations ecosystem and institutional values, these are the two nomenclature change from the 2017 onwards. There are curricular aspects, teaching, learning, research, infrastructure, student support, governance, and institutional values are there. Now, what are the metrics or the key differ or the newly introduced? Newly introduced
answer question
is
answer.
student satisfaction survey, innovations ecosystem,
question
alumni
advice
engagement, institutional values and social responsibilities, institution and distinctiveness. So these are the 6 key indicators have been newly introduced by the NAAC. Now, how many metrics are there? Now, come to the what is a matrix? Matrix is a question which is NAAC asked for the evaluation process. In the evaluation process, there are qualitative and quantitative. I just would like to share with you that in the human body, there are several organs are there. There are 7 criteria and there are 32 key aspects, and there are matrices are there. Matrices are the one where there is a nerve system. As our body has got the nerve system, so the questions which NAAC is asking looks like a nerve system where the blood flow will be there. The questions which NAAC is asking to look into the how exactly institution is performing under that particular metrics. Metrics means it is a question for the particularly for the assessment purpose. Now 93 and 96 metrics are there for the UG and PG, which we will discuss at a next slides. Now just to share with you that the government of India, the Niti Aayog, the MHRD would like to make sure that for the assessment purpose there should be less than 100 questions for the assessment purpose. NAAC has tried its level best to reduce the number of questions in the assessment criteria also. Now, what actually the focus on the assessment? Now, if you understand the metrics wise, if you understand the criteria, if you understand the key indicator, then you will be able to make a proper judgment for your institution. Now, what is actually the thing is that 7 criteria, as I explained to you in the previous slide, from the curricular aspect to the institutional values are there 7. There are 32 key indicators are there, which indicates how exactly the institution. In further slide, I will share with you. For the UG college, innovations ecosystem is not there. For PG college, innovations ecosystem is there. Now, what is the qualitative and quantitative, which I had told you? There are 35 or 36 matrices are there for the affiliated college, and quantitative metrics are there around 58 or 60. So that depending upon the instrument, you will be looking at. So maximum is that the 96 matrices are there for PG and 93 questions are there for the UG. Now, what actually you have to look into it? You have to download the template from the NAAC website, which is available for the data template. So kindly download. You need not to create anything. Download it and have every year you go on filling up the data. Then you will be able to see that in one fine day you will get all the data into your own fold. That will help you for the assessment purpose. Now, essentially, you have to create your own data template for that one. You need not to add any column for that one. Use the same data template. If at all you wanted to add anything, you can add, but don't delete the questions which is asked by the NAAC in the data template. Upload the filled template in its an appropriate self-study report. Our request would be, if it is a 2.3.1, you kindly upload the template in 2.3.1. If it is a 4.3.2, you kindly upload in 4.3.2. That means that the data template need to be evaluated against that matrix, you have to give accordingly the template. Only when the template is complete, it will facilitate easy DVV. Otherwise, you will get more question during the DVV process, which my colleague tomorrow, Dr. Vishnu Mahesh, will be talking to you. Now, what actually the executive summary? Executive summary is the one where you will be giving an introductory note, criterion-wise summary, strength and weaknesses, and additional information and overall. While giving the introductory note, we request you to look into the institutional context, location, vision and mission, and type of the institution. Type of the institution may be rural, urban, and technical, then autonomous college, then various things will be there. It may be women's college also. So looking into that, the institution, you have to give some introductory note. Introductory note will help the third person when they are coming for an assessment. They will be having a proper judgment on you. Suppose if you give a good sentence to them, they will write a good sentence on your institution also. Preface to be added, and criterion wise summary. Criteria wise, each criteria wise from the curricular aspect to the institutional values, you have to give the 250 word. You have to write a good sentences. Kindly write a good English so that it will facilitate better. So out of the 3 persons they are coming, one person may be very serious about the language part also. So kindly look into the language part of the self-study report. Strength, weaknesses, and opportunities and challenges. SWOT analysis. Kindly give your strength, weaknesses also. Don't say that one we don't have any weaknesses in the college. The weaknesses will be identified by the team. It is true. But you can also say that one, sir, these are the areas which we would like to improve upon. So those things can be converted as an opportunity, and then it comes as a challenge for the institution. Additional information may be given by the institution. Now I will be coming to the main part of the presentation, which is called the criterion wise. What are the questions which NAAC is asking, how it is evaluated, and what are the things the institution has to look into as a coordinator, as a professor, as a team leader, and as an assistant professor also. What are the things which you have to do at individual level, and the collectively also, how exactly NAAC evaluates, that I will be sharing with you. In the curricular aspect, there are 4 key indicators are there: curriculum planning and implementation, academic flexibility, curriculum enrichment, and feedback system. So against of that one, weightage has been given. The 100 mark has been further divided into the 20, 30, and 20. Now coming to the institutional questions are there, and what actually the NAAC is looking in this first criteria, curricular aspect. It initiates the effective curriculum delivery.
So one question is there from the participant.
Sir.
The question is raised by Maina D'Souza, whether the pharmacy colleges need to follow a general SSR or the healthcare SSR. There is a confusion.
General college, sir, NAAC has given the notification in the website. The institution has to follow the general college manual. Affiliated college manual they have to follow. This is yes. The curricular, in the curricular aspect, it should initiate the effective curriculum delivery. Effective curriculum delivery may be monthly test, sudden test, open book examination, and project-based learning, and a good academic calendar will make or ensure that there is an effective curriculum delivery will be there. End semester examination will be one of the things, and semester examination is also will be there. So effective curriculum delivery will have various things. It may be ICT integration is also one of the things. A good academic calendar will tell you that how unitization has been done by the faculty member and how it is effective to the students. So academic calendar, and then the conduct of the continuous internal evaluation. That means 70-30 will be there, 80-20 will be there. Depending upon the program, you will be having the internal valuation system. So those things, how exactly it has been done, and whether the student, when it comes for the display of that one marks, whether grievances are there or less grievances, will tell you that effectiveness of the system. Choice based credit system is another thing. If you don't have the choice based credit system, there are elective system will be there. So those systems you can give how exactly the institution is taking care. Add-on certificate program. Next, I will just come to the, in the next slide, I will tell you what is an add-on and the certificate program. Add-on program are the programs which adds an value to the program. Suppose if it is a electronics, BE electronics, or any computer science will be there. So mobile computing and repairing. So it may be an add-on program to that one, so that the student can be able to have a better knowledge during the program itself. That is how it has been calculated. And the certificate program is the one which may be having a 2 credit or it may be having a 6 credit, depending upon the things. You can look into it, and each program will have different courses also will be there. Professional ethics, it may be the research ethics or any type of the things which you can look into it. And gender, human values, environmental sustainability into the curriculum. These are some of the things which you can do it. Now, for example, I will give you in the gender, what is a program? A program, small program or a course, whatever the way you can call, you can conduct. Suppose third year BE students in the final year semester, final semester which they are there, and all the girl students, if your college is having the totally 800 students are there, out of that one 425 students are women students. Out of the 425 students, there are 123 students are going for the final year. For the final year student, if you make a 3 days program, and how to become a good engineer, and how to become a what to call after marriage, how you are to hold yourself for the balancing the life and the job. So for that one, if you make a 3 days program and making some alumni to speak, some engineer to speak, and 1 or 2 ladies they can speak, so that if you make a small program, it boosts the morale of the student. So those type of the things which gender things which you can do in the institution also. Human values and environmental sustainability, the human rights, and to the as per the Supreme Court order, there are so many things need to be done. Suppose green chemistry is one thing, and green engineering is another thing. And how exactly you can do from the curriculum to the 7th criteria green audit, also we can look into it. So it depends upon the program to program and the course to course which you will be doing in your own institution. So most of the engineering will be project based learning will be there, field work will be there, internship will be there. How exactly does in the institution from the first criteria to the 7th criteria? Suppose if you are doing a good work here, and you can convert that into the best practices in the 7th criteria. Next looks into the various criteria. It is a chain reactions will be there from the criteria 1 to 2 to 2 to 3 and 2 to 6, 2 to 5, like that. So there are various ways to look into that. Each metrics wise, you have to go deeper into the thought. You will be able to see how exactly it has been weaved within the system itself. Curriculum enrichment, graduate employability. As per the CII report in 2016 and 17, it says that 30% of the engineers are not employable. That means the engineering institutions need to look into that, how exactly the program has to be skill oriented and how they have to make. For example, if an add-on course in the computer science are there, if Cisco networking is there, if you're having an MOU with them for the add-on program or the certificate program, whatever it may be, it depends upon how exactly Cisco program. If the Cisco program, if the student has been done, he will be immediately taken into the job. So it enables the student to get the employability. The last one is the feedback system. A feedback, 360 feedback from the students, parents, alumni, all to be taken care based on the experiences, and alumni should give. The last final year student should give the feedback to the teachers and the teaching and all the institutions, so that what are the improvement can be done. So the improvement only can help the improving the institutional things. Value added program may be like banking and insurance, .NET and Visual Basics, English language and lab testing, certificate program in the practical examination, and Google and Amazon certified digital marketing, and certificate course on GST, and several things can be done by the institution looking into their program which they are running. So if the add-on courses are the one which adds and value to that program which you are having. It may be mechanical, and it may be electronics, or it may be anything. So depending upon your program, kindly make some certificate or the add-on program which will benefit the student. For example, value added courses may be on digital marketing, and advanced course on Java and Python course. So these are some of the things which the engineering institutions can do with the use of the faculty and the student. Now coming to the, in the first criteria, there are 3 to 4 questions are there, and each key indicator wise. Now while going to the key indicator, there are each key indicator wise, there are questions will be there. Those questions are called as the metrics. For example, 1.3.1, which states that institution integrates cross-cutting issues relevant to the professional ethics, gender, human values, then environmental sustainability into the curriculum. Now coming to the this criteria or this metrics will be evaluated by the peer team. Now the peer team is the one where on-site visit, if the team will decide what are the things you have to upload the document. You have to upload the list of description of the courses which address the professional ethics. That means a course is the one where in NAC, in the glossary, it has been written stating that, just I will read out what is mean by a course. A course is a unit of 2 to 6 credits in a formal program. It may be BTech or MTech program, that the in a formal program. A 3-credit course will have 3 classroom sessions of 1 hour duration during the each week for the entire semester. That means each week the students will be taking some courses. So depending upon the program, you will have several courses. Courses are nothing but sometimes you may in your language may call as a paper in your thing. So those things need to be identified how exactly institution is doing. Now, how the calculation will be happening in the NAC. I will come to the next slide. I will share with you. This is the qualitative matrix where 500 words should be written by the institution. The computer or the software will not take 502 words. It will ask only the 500 words. Average percentage of the courses that includes experiential learning through a project work, field work, internship during the last 5 years. So you need to keep the 5-year data. That means suppose if you are undergoing the process for the 2020 December 15th, you are applying to the NAC. That means previous completed academic year will be 1920. That means the 1920, 1819, 1718, 1617, 1516. From 1516 to the 1920, you have to give the data to the NAC. To give that data, you need to look into the various programs which you are having this type of the project work or the internship. So each teacher who is running the program need to give all the data to the coordinator. Now, what are the requirements from the NAC side are there? Details of the experiential learning through a project work, whether it is a field work, whether it is an internship, and name of the program. Suppose in the tabular column, there is a template is available. That template, you can look into that one. name of the program and what are the what to call project work, field work or internship. So NAC has made the data template. You have to use that data template to fill up the data. Now, in the program, there are several courses also will be there. Number of courses which are having. In the one program, there are 8 courses may be having experiential learning. Those things can be given to the NAC. Now, MOUs with the relevant organization for these courses. Suppose, as I told you, one program, suppose in the computer science, if you are having any thing, which may be the digital marketing or it may be anything which you are having an MOU or a Cisco program which you are running, those things you need to have an MOU with them. MOU will tell you that how exactly you are planning your institution for the students. Now, MOU can have within the institutions for the benefit of the students. You may have an MOU. That MOU will enable you to make sure that your program is a higher order or the placement will be very good. Like that way, you will be able to have these MOUs for the benefit of the institution, for the student benefit also. You can have those things can also be given to the NAC. How exactly the matrix wise calculation happens? This is not from the NAC. This is my personal perspective, which I have presented to you. This slide before you. What is that one? Key indicator 1.3 is a curriculum enrichment, which has got the 30 mark. Now, how I will be evaluated by the NAC? The NAC is evaluating this metrics of the 1.3.1 through the qualitative peer assessment. That means the on-site visit the institution will be assessing during the peer review. 1.3.2 and 1.3.3, there are 10 mark weightage is there. Now, these two things which comes as the quantitative nature and which will be evaluated by the NAC through the DVV process, that is called the data validation and verification. Before the team goes to the on-site visit, these quantitative metrics will be evaluated, then only the on-site visit will be taken place by the NAC. Now, 10 mark each are there. So maximum weightage is being given here in the NAC is a 30. Now 30 into 4 maximum on a 0 to 4 scale. If we see that one on a Likert scale, you will be getting the mark. Now, for example, hypothetically, if the institution 10 mark are there, 10 weightage is there, 2 mark has been given by the team, then you will get the 20 mark. If it is a 10 into 3, by the system generator score, it is the 3, then you will get the 30. Maximum one can get is the 10 into 4 is a 40. So minimum one can get is the 10 into 0, the 0. Now in this particular matrix, the institution has got the 70 and maximum they must have got is the 120. Now my request to all the teachers, those who are undergoing the process for the accreditation, kindly make like this for every metric, and then you will be able to know that where you stand in front of that manual which is designed by the NAC. So self-evaluation is more important. When a student is studying in a particularly BE electronics or BE electrical engineering, or it may be MTech mechanical engineering, then he will be knowing that what mark I will be getting in particular question. In the similar way, if the teachers are assessing themselves as per their knowledge and as per their context of the institution, you will be able to know that where your institution stands as per the context of the institution according to you. Now, when the self-assessment happens by the institution, there you will stand. What is the improvement has to be happen? So slowly you will be thinking that how exactly you are to get the more mark. While doing that things, you will be understanding the metrics and you will do the innovative way to do the different criteria wise, you will be churning process has happens in the institution. There are generic skills will be there. There are many curriculum design and review will be there in the institution. In the teaching, learning and evaluation, there are 7 key indicators are there. Student enrollment, catering to student diversity, teaching learning process, teacher profile, evaluation process, student performance and learning outcome, and student satisfaction survey. Now, seats filled against the reserved post, it may be SC, ST, OBC, like that you can give in the, and the reservation policy you can give. Organize a special program for the advanced learners and the slow learners, and student full-time teacher ratio. Full-time in the sense, if the teacher is taking the 90% of the workload of the regular teacher, will be called as the full-time teacher. Now, just to share with you here, a teacher is an employed for at least 90% of the normal or the statutory number of hours of work. For a full-time teacher over a complete academic year is classified as a full-time teacher. That means, as per the NAC norms, if the permanent teachers are not there, against of that one, a full-time teacher has been appointed, will be calculated the student to full-time teacher ratio. So kindly look into the glossary of the NAC. Student-centric methods such as experiential learning, project-based learning, problem-solving methodologies, if you are having, kindly give during this second criteria. ICT-enabled tool for effective teaching learning process, and ratio of the mentor to the student. Here ICT enabled tools, I'll just give you one example. It from the criteria 4, where the infrastructure and learning resources are there, and to the criteria 2, just to share with you, in the criteria 4 we have asked the library, how automated and everything. I just would like to give one example. One librarian in an engineering college used to do that one. A good librarian was downloading all the videos from the MIT, from the USA, and whenever the new video has been uploaded in that particular university, that university video will be downloaded by his system, and it will be put on the server, and the server will send a message to the electronics and computer science department. Look, professor, here is a new video has come from the MIT. If you would like to use it, you can use it. So ICT enabled services can be happen with in a different context by the institution, depending upon the institutional values. Ratio of the mentor to the student. Here NAC is asking that whether the student to mentor ratio is the 1:32, 1:15, 1:45. How exactly the mentor to student ratio is there? That is how the NAC is looking here. There is no fixed formula which NAC has not made. Average percentage of full-time teacher against the sanction post means that the full-time teachers, the whether it is a 52% or whether it is a 48%, how exactly the percentage of the full-time teachers are there. Full-time teachers with a PhD, and there is a full-time teacher if he is having a PhD, and he may not be permanent, but if he is having PhD, then he will be considered in the second criteria. Now, program for the course outcomes and the program outcome. As an engineering institutions, you are well aware, as per the NBA program, there are course outcomes are there, there are program outcomes are there, there are program specific outcomes are there. So depending upon that one, you kindly give that the program outcome and the program specific outcome and the attainment of the program also in the as per the institution. Now, if the university is not doing, kindly say that one, don't say that one, no, university has not given anything. But you need, as a teacher, you have to create your own program outcome and program specific outcome, and also attainment of the program, as every teacher has to do that one. Online student satisfaction survey is another thing which NAC has brought out recently. And none of the accrediting agency in the foreign countries, they are not doing the online student satisfaction survey. NAC has developed this student satisfaction survey in 2017, and it is working fantastically. Fantastically, why I am telling is that one, at least the student has a say in the college assessment also. And most of the students have given good marks to the institution, but the institution looking for the student satisfaction survey as part of the progressive nature. I request the teachers to look into the Benjamin Bloom's taxonomy before going to the any class. That means the education should focus on the mastery of the subject. You may be teaching electronics or the physics, or it may be chemistry or a mechanical engineering or production theory, or it may be you are a placement agency, a placement officer also, no problem. But the thing is that how exactly you enhance the knowledge of the student, it depends upon how exactly your mastery of the subjects are there. Now, in any subject, if you look into the various parameters of the taxonomy, from the knowledge component to the comprehension to the application to the analytical level to the synthesis level, synthesis to the evaluation, and creating the new knowledge is the way of how Benjamin looks it. From the remembering to the understanding to the application of the knowledge, then lastly, it is a creating a new knowledge. How to create a knowledge? It may be remembering. You may relate to the some of the theoretical things, and then understanding and summarizing the program or the course, applying that type of the things, and analyzing and evaluating. Evaluating comes as a continuous internal evaluation. Lastly, it is a creating. If the student has to write a good paper and he is creating a new knowledge, how he will create a knowledge, how he will write that the constructive the ideas, so that comes as a lastly it is a creating. So from the remembering to the creating the new knowledge, research papers, things, so institution can do wonders. Faculty need to look into the how exactly they can enhance the thinking level of the students. In one of the college was talking about the ICT enabled services. In one of the criteria in the two, we have asked the ICT enabled service. In the ICT enabled service, the college was telling that the e-learning, it may be the case study, it may be the group discussion, it may be the quiz on the role play, or it may be group project, or it may be brainstorming, or it may be activity based learning, it may be live demo, or it may be peer teaching which happens, or it may be the review of the journals by the teachers and the student. Now suppose for example a small work you can do at your own colleges also. Every Friday afternoon from the 3 to 4, let us have the presentation by the each student of the third year or the fourth year. So the student interaction with the teachers will make sure that how exactly you are enhancing the psychological level of the student. So one or the other day, they also will become like you. But how you will enhance the student psychological level of the student, and how you are motivating, how you are mentoring the student, it depends upon your skill. So those skills as a guru, you have to make the disha to the student. Those things need to be enhanced by the teachers for the benefit of the students. In the second criteria, as I told you in the first criteria, in the 2.3, this matrix has got the 50 mark. In this 50 mark, teaching learning process is there. ICT enabled 2 is also one of the component here. Now in the key indicator 2.3, there are 3 matrices are there. 2 metrics are evaluated by the peer during the on-site visit, and one is the quantitative metrics which is evaluated by the DVV. This is an hypothetical example which I have given to you to share with you that how exactly NAC does the evaluation. So all the evaluation will be done on a 0 to 4 scale, which is in the Likert scale. So in this particular metric, the institution must have got 200 mark. What the institution have got? 115 mark. Now, you may make your own judgment and how exactly if you're assessing your own self as the self assessment, I think that is the best assessment. You feel that the peer or the DVB you must have given more mark, but if you make a critical analysis of your own institution, you will be able to get the more mark. Now in the NAC, there are the matrices which are having the benchmark value. The benchmark value are the values which NAC has designed over a period after assessing the several different type of the institution for different the instrument. There are different benchmarks are prepared by the NAC. Now, whatever may be the benchmark which you are putting, but your assessment will help you to get the more mark. For example, 1.3.2, there is a system generated score comes from the DVV after the clarification. Now, before the assessment happens, that means on-site visit happens before that one, the quantitative metrics evaluation will be done by the computer, and then based on that percentage of the 25% passed only, then the peer assessment will come. Now, practically, just to share with you that once the system generated score happens only, that means the 62% when it is evaluated by the NAC, then only the 38% will be evaluated by the NAC. So basically, just to share with you, in general colleges, some colleges have failed during that procedure also. Now, I request the institution to look into the database, how exactly you are to give. This is basically from the 5-year period, the period will change as and when the academic year change. For the NAC, an academic year is that the June 1st to the 31st May, we have calculated as the academic calendar year. In this COVID-19 situation, when the date is extended, so NAC will also accordingly change the academic calendar year if it is required by the thing. So as the proper decision will be taken by the NAC for this one. How exactly it calculates, that's what I have shared with you here in front of you. In the third criteria, there are 120 mark is there for the PG college and UG college 110. Now, a variation is also there for UG PG. As I told you already, what is a UG college? BA, BAC, BCom will be there UG. And if you are having MA Economics, MSc Microbiology, Biotechnology, it will be called as a BG. So MTech will be called as the PG. So accordingly, innovations ecosystem is not there for UG college. For PG college, it is there. And in the research publication awards and the extension also, there's a little variation in the weightage is there. A good researcher, who is a good researcher? A good researcher must open-minded and must also to adopt the critical way of thinking. Besides, he or she should hardworking, diligent, focused, and also devoted to his or her specific field of interest. Suppose if you are in the material science, you may be interested in the chemistry also. If you are an electronics person, you may be interested in the graph theory also. So depending upon the interest of the things, you can make yourself. A good researcher should be there and you should arouse your own interest. There is a researcher within you. It will be waiting. You don't lose your things. That means there should be an analytical mind. There should be an ability to stay calm, cool, and intelligence. And there should be arousing the curiosity within you and also the student. So you have to arouse the curiosity about the things. I also request all the teachers is that if a student is asking more question, don't discourage him, because he is asking the question because he thinks differently. The non-asking questions, the student, if they're not asking question, means they may not be thinking in the mind. A good student will be always asking a more question for you to understand the things. So my request to the teachers is that whenever you are having a class, they kindly ask the student to ask the more questions and you will clarify that one. At the end of the day, when they become an alumni or a engineer or in somewhere companies as a software engineer, they will come and tell you that that teacher only has made us to make you think. So I respect the teachers like that. So my request to the teachers is that be a good thinker and be a good commitment, and excellent written and verbal communication will be there, and communicative skill should be enhanced during the students interactive sessions, and you also need to be sympathetic to the students. And in the third criteria, NAC is also asking the grants for the research projects, percentage of department is having the research projects, institution has created for the innovations ecosystem, number of workshops conducted on IPR, and number of seminars, conferences and workshops, number of research papers per teacher, and number of books and chapter in the edited volumes published, neighborhood community paper published, and students participating in the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, number of extension outreach programs conducted, number of awards and recognitions, number of linkages, faculty internship programs, internship program for the students and the faculty, and the field trip, on-job training and research, and number of functional MOUs with the national and international institutions, universities, industries, corporate houses. And I request the institution to look into the Government of India initiative, as most of the viewers will be from the engineering background. I request them to be the partner for the Make in India program. Let us make our country self-reliant, and if you produce a good engineer, they will create a new economic development for the country. Digital India and Startup India, Smart India program, and the new initiative Government of India has made is the Atal Innovations and Hackathon. And then the Government of India and the MHRD has brought out Innovations Ecosystem Lab in the site. So kindly look into that one, and various programs which the Swayam portal is telling. So kindly use those platforms and make the student also to go to the site and look into the various parameters which the Government of India is suggesting. Innovations ecosystem is also looks about where there is a will, where there is a way. So this is a small thing. A localite in Bangalore is having that in the small scooty, he is having the solar cell. My way of looking this picture to bring it in front of you is that one, to share with you that in India, local and the local of the person can think differently and act differently. Why can't our teachers and the students think differently and make sure that new innovative way of the engineering graduate can think differently and make instrument and technology oriented in the benefit of the country can be done. In the criteria 3, there are 5 key indicators are there. How exactly it is evaluated? Now, in this criteria of the research, innovations and extension, one of the key indicator is the resource mobilization and research. It has got the 15 mark. 15 mark is further divided into 5, 5, 5 mark, which is all are quantitative in nature. Now, the quantitative nature will be evaluated by the DBV process during the online submission of the SSR. Now, in this particular metrics, institution have got the 40 mark, maximum mark they could have got is a 60. Now, this is a hypothetical model. My request to the all the teachers is that kindly make sure that your own assessment for that particular thing. My idea of sharing this slide with you is that if I am a student of the electronics and I am getting every semester my percentage is 89 to 90, it is coming. Now my target sheet is the 95. How to get the 95 marks? So for that one, my mind always will be thinking that what are the new things we have to write and how to write a good what to call questions for the answer. In the similar way, institution also look into these parameters in that way, and I request the every teacher to focus on how to get the good national assessment and accreditation grade. Now, in the criteria 4, there are infrastructure and learning resources, physical facilities, library learning, IT infrastructure, maintenance of the campus. These are the 100 marks are further divided into the adequate facilities, teaching learning, and ICT enabled facilities, Wi-Fi connectivity, integrated library management services, e-journals, e-Shodh Sindhu, Shodh Ganga, e-books, databases, and the gymnasium and outdoor indoor games, yoga, a meditation center, annual expenditure for purchase of books, and IT facilities including the Wi-Fi and the bandwidth for the internet, and hostel facilities, student to computer ratio, average expenditure on the maintenance of the campus, institutional website, and also the uninterrupted electricity supply. It may comes in the 7th criteria to the 4th criteria also. So looking into the drinking water facility, so there are several things will be there. My request to the teachers is that dynamic institutional website is mandatory, and cleanliness should be maintained, and green campus should be visible in the campus itself. In the student support and progression, there are 140 marks are for UG and 130 marks for the PG. Now further, what NAC is looking is that one, how many free ships are provided by the government agencies and student benefited out of that one, capacity building of the student in the skill enhancement program, soft skill, hard skill, language skill, communication skill, yoga and physical fitness, health and hygiene, ICT and computing facilities, remedial coaching, language lab, bridge courses, yoga and meditation, and personal counseling and placement. I will give you just an example. If suppose an engineering college is there, if you are having a certificate program on a German language and French language and Arabic, and this will facilitate the student. When they go on to some other country, this language will come to their rescue. How you will build up that internal potential of the student is more important. And outstanding performance in sports and cultural activities by the university level, state level, national level, international level, student counseling, representation of the students in the IQAC. My request would be to the teachers is that the students, one boy and girl, should be the student representative in the IQAC. In the IQAC also, one alumni, one men and gentlemen, and the one women also should be there. In the alumni association also, alumni contribution will be there. I request you to look into the alumni association as an untapped. Suppose if your placement has to be enhanced, if your incubation center to be established, and if you have a startup to be done, and your all alumni will come to your rescue. This untapped version of the alumni need to be looked into by the every engineering college and the general colleges also, because the alumni one who will be contributing back to the your institution, that this is an untapped version are there. So my request all the teachers and the management is that one kindly have alumni association, and also the in the beginning of the session, for example, if the in the August or the September first week, the new session will be starting. You kindly make 1 day program, freshers program, and call the two people. One is that one placement agency to tell them how exactly they have to study, and another is the alumni who can tell about how exactly he studied for the benefit of him and how he has achieved the success. So those two people will talk to the student, and it will motivate the student at in the beginning of the academic year itself. So that will boost the morale of the student. Career guidance, placement services, facilitating the education loan also can be done. In the governance and leadership on the 6th criteria, there are 5 key aspects are there: institutional vision, strategic development, faculty empowerment, financial management, internal quality assurance system. Now, a great leader possesses a clear vision, what he would like to do after the 5 years, and how he has to take the leader in the subordinate help. That depends upon the vision of the leader. A leader should be good. A principal, a vice chancellor, a director should be good enough to take the help of all the teachers with the courageous, has an integrity, has an honesty and humility, and a clear focus on that one, what he actually wants. A great leader will help to reach their goals, are not afraid of their higher people that might be better than them, and take a pride in the accomplishment of those they help along with their way. That means a teacher or a principal need not to be there hesitant to take the good teachers along with them. A friend will tell you that how exactly you went wrong somewhere. So do not go wrong somewhere. Take a good person's help and advice. That is the great leader will be doing. Now, what actually the NAC is doing is that one, NAC is also looking about the perspective and the strategic plan with the vision and mission statement. How exactly you are done. For example, you are an affiliated college and you would like to go for an autonomy, and there are some fund will be coming for autonomous college. Your management is pressurizing you to go for autonomy. Now, to go to the autonomy, the teachers need to be come together. So the perspective plan should be there. After 1 year or 2 years, how exactly you have to go for autonomous status, that makes a lot of difference. A strategic planning should be there. If you plan very well, you will be succeed. If you does not plan, you plan to fail. So planning is more important. Organization, the structure of the institution, including the governing body, administrative setup, and e-governance. E-governance is maybe a small example from the admission of the student to the result declaration when the semester 8th is coming. If you make all e-governance, including the student attendance, then it is a good governance will be there. So financial support for the attendance of the conference, workshop, faculty development program, teachers attending the professional development, faculty development program, internal and external financial audit may be looked into. I just brought in front of you a quality improvement model from you. This is not from it is from the internet which I have taken, but I would like to share with you that how you can build up a quality. A quality is the one which the culture of the quality has to be adopted. For example, in the 2017-18, you are having the 18 paper written by the people in the Scopus and the Web of Science. Let us say IEEE journal also. Now, if you put a target in 2020-21, you are having the 17 faculty and at least the 51 paper should be written by the faculty member. That makes the motivated thing, and the institution research culture enhances through that one. Improved outcome, catalyzing the quality initiatives and identifying the improvement and the opportunity and connecting with the society and the community is most important, because better has no limit. What are the things to be done in the governance and leadership? Institutional strategies, learning outcome by the IQAC can be prepared. Each program wise you have to do it, and academic and administrative audit can be done. For example, 2 faculty from the within and 2 faculty from the outside. If you are having a PG college, you may have the 2 people from the outside, and having the evaluative report of the department which NAC has made. Out of the 15, you may remove 5 questions. Then you can use the 10 questions which are available in the NAC manual in the evaluative report of the department. Those things cut across the department. If you make 15 question one side in the left hand side, on the top you will be having the electronic ECE, computer science, mechanical engineering, electronics, then chemistry, and then the mathematics. If you are having all the things, and then you will come to know that computer to student ratio, number of research projects, number of teachers to students, all things can be done in that matrix. So matrix wise you can do when you make an academic and administrative audit. Legal matter is also more important. My request to all the teachers is that though the online submission is there, at least one copy of the criteria wise you may have in your own colleges. Now, last criteria is the institutional values and best practices. Sixth criteria, which talks about the curricular aspect to the governance and leadership, is the those things can be worked out. But the seventh criteria is the one which talks about the values and the best practices. In the institutional values and social responsibilities, best practices, and institutional distinctiveness. What actually the NAC is looking? NAC is looking about the institutions on the safety and security, counseling, common room, power requirement for the institution, whether it is a wind energy, whether it is a renewable energy, how exactly you are doing, lighting with the LED bulbs, solid waste management, liquid waste management, biomedical and e-waste management, rainwater harvesting, borewell recharging, and green initiatives, and also the quality audits, and also the green audit. A green audit can be conducted by the colleges with the help of the three people. I suggest like that. Okay? One is the geology or a botany teacher who is good at the environmental. Second one may be some good environmentalist or some good engineering background. And third one will be from the pollution control board. You can take some good person. So these three persons will come to one day and will have a quality audit of the green audit of the college, how exactly the carbon neutrality can be enhanced in the college. Now, code of conduct of the handbook means that each teacher or a governing body, student, and also to the non-teaching staff, you can have some conduct book. It may be discipline, it may be the timeline, or it may be the any things which you are having a target. So those things can be done in the code of conduct of the handbook. Then lastly, it is a conscious about the national identities and how exactly you are doing. The institution celebrates organizes the national and international commemorative days. It may be Gandhi Jayanti or it may be any other days, but how exactly you can do it. State at least two institutional best practices. Best practices are the practices. Sometimes it may be borrowed practice or it may be your own homegrown practice, but the practice should be there at the good level. What is that practice? It may be e-governance, or it may be student loan facilities, or it may be the faculty is giving the money or the taking care of the students for the financial help. That may be the thing. And for the scholarship type, so there are various ways to look into that, the institutional best practices. How exactly that happens, you have to give in a structured format in the NAC. In describe and explain the distinctiveness, my request to the all the institutions is that two institutions cannot be similar. Their DNA will be differ from one institution to the other institution. When it is differs, how it differs? And that institution may be having the same program, electronics, mechanical, computer science, civil, and everything. But your institution also may have. But the way you treat the student, the way you distinctive them, that makes a lot of difference. How we are taking care that the students and the teachers and other things, distinctiveness comes. It may be the extension, or it may be the placement, or it may be the on-job training also. So distinctiveness has to come on the vision, priority, and a thrust area which is identified by the institution. As I told you already, optional metrics will be there while submitting the self-study report at the end of the things, and you will be having maximum 30 weightage. You can make the non-applicable metrics. Criteria 1, 2, and 7, you cannot opt out. All matrices you have to reply. Criteria 3, 4, 5, 6 only you can opt out some of the metrics that is available in the NAC manual. Kindly go through the manual. And in the example, just to share with you one example, percentage of the department having research projects funded by the government and non-government agencies during the last 5 years. How it will be calculated? Number of research department may be 5 and divided by total number of is 15 department. 5 divided by 15 into 100 will give you the percentage. So this is the 5 mark question. So my request would be each teacher need to look into the NAAC criteria wise so that you will be able to get the proper weightage. One of the qualitative metrics, just to share with you, as I told you, institution assesses the learning level of the students, organizes special programs for the advanced learners and slow learners. If the good student is that, you can think about him for the project based learning. So a teacher may be having one project. Under that project, you can ask him to work on that project, will be enhance the knowledge. Now, how exactly in the portal of the NAAC, after your registration, and if you apply the IIQA, once the IIQA is accepted by the NAAC, and this portal will be criterion wise will be open up for you, and you can look into the. There are ways the institution can write in the Word file in the initially, and same thing can be copy and paste here for the in the portal, which you can do it. This is one of the what to call optional things which the institution can write. Now coming to the last slide of my today's presentation here, my colleague Dr. Vishnu Mahesh tomorrow will be talking to you on the data validation verification, logistic and also the student satisfaction survey. मैं इतना बताना चाहता हूं, उम्र थका नहीं सकती है, ठेकरे गिरा नहीं सकता है, अगर जीतने का जिद हो तो परिस्थितियां का हरा नहीं सकती है. So परिस्थिति or the environment which you are working will make sure that you will be succeeded. Keep on doing the good things and success will be in your doorstep. So I thank each participant for viewing this webinar and also listening to me from the last 1 hour. I thank you very much for your patience listening. Over to Dr. Madhu.
Sir. Sir, there are a few questions raised by the participants.
Sir.
Does 2-day workshop for students can be considered treated as a certificate program?
2 days?
Workshop for students can be treated as a certificate program.
No, it's not. Certificate is a program. It should be a course, sir. A course will be having the 2 to 6 credits on a formal program. That is one thing. Second thing is that whether there is a choice-based credit system or a course should be at least minimum 6 days, sir. There is no fixed formula is not there. So as the institution can conduct, suppose mobile repairing, then the microbiology lab technician job. So there are ways to look into it. Our NAAC is telling that there should be minimum 30 contact hours should be there.
Thank you, sir. One more, sir.
Sir.
How weightage is calculated for research publication and extension activities?
Research?
How weightage is calculated for research publication and extension activities?
Sir, as I told you already, in the research publication and thing, there are 4 matrices which the INFLIPNET is giving. If the teachers are published the papers in the Scopus, Web of Science, and also the UGC Care journals, it will be considered, and that weightage comes from the from the INFLIPNET. That is one thing. Extension activity, which is the 60 mark is there for the UG and 50 mark for the PG colleges are there. Maximum one can get 50 into 4 is the 200. So in this matrix, maximum one can get is the 200 out of the 4,000. Now looking into that one, extension will be some of the questions are the qualitative and 1 or 2 are the quantitative also there. So if you ask me the proper metrics wise, I can tell you. Sir.
I think these are the 2 important questions I have seen from that. Thank you, sir. So we'll start the polling.
Asking that the certification can be given by the college. Certificate can be given by the college. There is no problem for the certificate, but the certificate need to be, suppose for example, I will tell you the Ramaya College. Ramaya College has got the social context is there. People know the brand image of the institution. That is one thing. To retain that brand image also, the minimum 30 contact hours should be there, and the institution can give the certificate. There is no problem. But if you are having add-on program or a diploma program, that need to be approved by the affiliating university. Certificate can be given by the colleges. There is not a problem. Suppose .NET program, GST. So these are some of the programs which the college is conducting, and those things can be done. But minimum contact hours should be there. It's not just for the 2 days a certificate, and certificate should not be there for only to get the certificate. You should not make the program. So the program has to be come from the feedback from the student. What actually they want in that program has to come from the student. So you have to make a study and what program will be benefited for the student. Sir.
One more question is there.
Sir.
Can you elaborate on H-index and item index?
Sir, if you look into the, I request you to look into the matrix number. 1 second. Sir, in the NAC thing, each institutions will be validated in the 3.2.1 and the 3.2.2. Number of papers published under the teacher in the notified in the UGC website during the last 5 years. This is one of the questions are there. Now, the H-index and the I-10 index will be validated through the InflibNet. We are not doing any individually here.
But is it for the journal or a paper?
It will be journal, sir. And see, H-index will be depending upon the paper. The individual will be getting. Say I-10 you will be getting from the individual paper, and H-index you will be getting for the paper.
For the author.
Sir?
There are 2 H-indexes. There's one is for the author, other for the journal.
Yes, sir.
Which one they have to consider?
Sir, in some cases, it will be for the institution also will be there. If you go to the different
yes.
In different databases, NAC is also looking for the different databases. Web of Science calculates in different way. Scopus calculates in a different way. And the UGC care they calculates in a different way. For that purpose, the NAC has taken a stand. The criteria, whatever the number, suppose if it is a 3.2.1, 3.2.4, though there are 5 metrics will be evaluated by the InflibNet. NAC is not doing the individually, but it is a collectively MOU has been given to the InflibNet. And if the institution is not having the data also will be given by the InflibNet. Sometimes it has happens that institution does not give the data, but the data comes from the InflibNet. That is, these are the papers has been written by the particularly that institution will be calculated accordingly.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Thank you.
Somebody was asking which is more appropriate for autonomous college, whether NAC or NBA. So it depends upon that particular institution to look into it. For autonomous colleges, if you are UGC autonomous colleges, if you have got the autonomous college from the UGC, and UGC is telling that the autonomy has to be autonomy has to be colleges has to be accredited by the NAC within the 6 years after getting the autonomy. So autonomous college can go to the NAC for the benefit of the autonomous colleges. I think most of the question is also answered here. That's what I'm seeing here. Google Scholar we are not considering at present, sir. As I told you, the for the research publication and awards, it goes to the InflipNet, and the InflipNet will do the thing. And in the metrics also you can look into it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for sparing your valuable time.
Thank you.
Giving us a wonderful session. People are very happy with the way the responses are coming. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Whether it is an NBA or NAC, it's not a problem for the accreditation, but it is a way how you think your institution. At the end of the day, our students should be benefited by the college. If you look into any college, for that matter, before he is taking the admission to that particular college, the student and parent must have thought something around 4 to 5 times whether my ward, if he is going for that college, will be good or how it will be there, and whether the placement is okay or not. So there are various ways to look into that. Before the student coming to that particular college, he must have 8 to 10 times he must have thought. And the students are very, very alert nowadays, and they know what actually they want. My way of looking is that one, that if the India has to progress and our knowledge and the skill component has to improvement has to happen, that means the teachers has to be very alert and the good. In one of the sessions in the IQAC, I used to tell that one, the physically fit, mentally alert should be the slogan for the IQAC. That means a teacher need to be physically fit to take the 45 to 1 hour class, and how he will be deliver that class in a 1 hour program is more important. Second thing is that academically alert, as you asked so many questions on the research publication output. Yes, I would like to agree on that one. And also not only that thing, IEEE paper is also more important. Publishing a paper in IEEE journal is not an easy thing. So become an IEEE engineer is not a thing. IEEE engineering chapter also should be there in the colleges. So looking into the various parameters set by either the NAC or the NBA, you may go to any agency for the accreditation, no problem. But our idea is to make sure that the quality improvement should happen within the institution. Within the institution, there are two constituents are there. One is the teacher and the second is the student. So both should together, as the clap comes from the two hands, the teachers and the student should work together, and then only you will be able to see the progress. And I hope the institutions will make their best efforts. And हिंदी में इतना बताना चाहता हूँ, एक कदम आप आगे बढ़े, आपका साथ और एक कदम आगे बढ़ने के लिए NAC और NBA तत्पर रहेंगे. And I wish you all the best for your webinar. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you very much, sir, for the wonderful session. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
We are going to end the session now.
Ganesh Hegde, sir, wonderful presentation.
Thank you, Vishnumesh.
Tomorrow I will take over, sir.
Yes, sir. DVV, Student Satisfaction Survey.
Peer team logistics and assessment outcome.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Thank
I request
you.
all the